The Public Health Administration at the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services is in the early stages of conducting an assessment of the health of all Michiganders in the public health system. This video provides an introduction to the state health assessment process, the methods we will use, and how you can contribute. The goal of these assessment activities is to identify the health of the state's population and areas for health improvement, factors contributing to health challenges, and existing state resources that can be mobilized to address health needs. As with other health assessments, the state health assessment is foundational to efforts to improve the health of Michigan's population. A state health assessment is the basis for setting priorities, planning, program development, funding applications, policy changes, coordination of resources, and new ways to collaboratively use state assets to improve the health of the population. The assessment will provide the general public and policy leaders with information on the health of the population and the broad range of factors that impact health on the population level. It will also identify existing assets and resources to address health issues. The health assessment provides the basis for the development of the State Health Improvement Plan. The Public Health Administration at MDHHS is designing and engaging in a process that is aligned with national standards for state health assessment set by the Public Health Accreditation Board. These standards require state health departments to complete a collaborative, participatory assessment every 5 years. The assessment must include data and information from various sources. It must enable us to describe health issues and health disparities or inequities between population groups. It also must help us identify factors contributing to health challenges and existing assets and resources to address identified needs. The Mobilizing for Action Through Planning and Partnership, or MAPP, is a model for health assessment developed by the National Association for City and County Health Officials, or NACCHO. This model meets the requirements laid out in the Public Health Accreditation Board standards and is the best practice model we have chosen to guide our state health assessment process. This model is designed to assess the whole public health system, not just governmental public health departments. The process is collaborative, cross-sector, and community engaged. It is designed to drive collaborative and strategic efforts to address the most difficult health problems facing a community. Following the MAPP model will guide Michigan's public health system partners towards identifying priority public health issues, resources for addressing them, and strategies for action. The MAPP process emphasizes engaging a broad group of public health system partners to identify important issues facing the public health system and create a shared plan for improving health outcomes. MAPP includes 6 phases, beginning with developing a plan to organize the process and a collaborative shared vision of health in the future. The next step, the 4 MAPP assessments, is the heart of the process. These assessments include looking at health data, engaging the voice of the community, examining the public health system, and exploring factors that may affect health in the future. After the assessment process, data are organized to enable a broad group of stakeholders to identify key findings and strategic priorities, that is, the issues that should be addressed to improve health for all. There are many benefits of using the MAPP model for the state health assessment. MAPP can lay the foundation for collaboratively addressing the most difficult population health challenges we face. MAPP can incorporate planning and assessment needs of a variety of partners. MAPP assessments provide useful data across the system. MAPP provides strategic direction to ensure that partners are aiming for shared goals. MAPP helps create better data-driven strategies. And MAPP enables programs to develop strategic proposals to support new efforts. Michigan is planning to include a strong health equity focus in its state health assessment efforts. MAPP incorporates health equity into each phase of the process. During the early phases of the process, MAPP emphasizes engaging those who do not have fair and just access to the conditions that promote health and asks participants to consider what an equitable community would look like as part of the visioning process. The 4 MAPP assessments are set up to enable participants to examine the obstacles to health and their consequences, as well as to uncover differences in exposure and outcomes that are unjust and unfair. Finally, MAPP is set up so that strategic issues are framed around addressing unjust and unfair obstacles to health. As stated before, we will be engaging a wide variety of stakeholders in the MAPP process to bring in the voice of all sectors of the public health system. There is a steering committee that guides the process and a larger stakeholder group. Members of the stakeholder group will be asked to participate in setting a vision, completing one or more of the MAPP assessments, identifying strategic issues, and setting priorities. The strategic priorities stakeholders select are based in the data collected during the 4 MAPP assessments. These assessments include the Forces of Change assessment, the Public Health System assessment, the Themes and Strengths assessment, and the Health Status assessment. The Forces of Change assessment identifies factors that may affect health in the future and opportunities and threats associated with those factors. This assessment answers the questions, what is occurring or might occur that affects the health of the state or the public health system? What specific threats or opportunities are generated by these occurrences? Stakeholders who select to participate in this assessment will contribute their answers to these questions during a half-day facilitated session. The Public Health System Assessment examines how well different local public health system partners work together to deliver the 10 essential public health services. This assessment answers the questions, what are the activities, competencies, and capacities of the public health system? And how are the 10 essential public health services being provided? Stakeholders who select to participate in this assessment will contribute their answers to these questions during a full-day facilitated session. The Themes and Strengths assessment examines qualitative information about health assets and issues that are important to the state's population. This assessment answers the questions, what is important to the state? How is quality of life perceived in the state? And what assets does the state have that can be used to improve the public's health? Stakeholders who select to participate in this assessment will contribute to planned data collection materials and prioritizing findings after data are collected and analyzed. They will also be asked to participate in 2 to 3 hour in-person meetings and possibly contribute to data collection activities with specific populations they address, or to facilitate relationship development for data collection with specific populations. Finally, the Health Status Assessment examines quantitative data about health status as the population level. This assessment answers the questions, how healthy is the state? And what does the state health look like? Stakeholders who select to participate in this assessment will contribute to selecting health indicators and prioritizing findings after data are collected and analyzed. They will also be asked to participate in 2 to 3 hour in-person meetings and possibly share secondary data that align with chosen indicators or facilitate needed relationships to obtain those data. Once assessment data are collected and organized, the whole stakeholder group will convene to review findings and identify strategic issues to address through the State Health Improvement Plan. The MAPP Guide defines strategic issues as fundamental policy choices or critical challenges that must be addressed for a community to achieve its vision. Participants will engage in a facilitated process to review findings, identify themes, name strategic issues, and prioritize. This is the final step in the state health assessment process. As you can see, public health system stakeholders like you are essential to ensuring that the result of the state health assessment process includes the voice of multiple sectors. With your participation, this process will result in priorities that address the greatest health needs facing Michigan today and build on the assets and opportunities available. Thank you in advance for your important contributions.